All right. Hello. Yeah,
Hello.
please. There you go. Pretty good. All right. Good morning. It's November 3rd. We have our fantastic city clerk, Nova Romero, here with us today. Sitting in for me, because I'm sitting in for Chip.
Yeah.
We wish Chip well. He's not feeling great. Hopefully he'll be back in action on Monday. So get better soon, Chip. We'll be excited to see you back here. Maxine's also out, which I guess is why they have to deal with you and I today.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, everyone.
is what it is. That's okay. So a couple quick updates, and then I definitely want to hear what you've got to tell us today, Nova.
Okay.
First and foremost, thanks to everyone for a fabulous Halloween week, basically. Halloween's a big deal around here. It's the city birthday. We had the pumpkin roll, the Halloween event, and then the big main event was the parade, which was great. Kudos to Ashley and Leslie and everybody in the community activities group, Public Works, everyone that made that small parade come together. Even though it's small, it's a lot of work.
Yes. It's small but mighty.
Small but mighty. It's a small but mighty parade. I feel like
Yeah.
that's our mantra around here.
Yeah. I saw a lot of great costumes and somebody that kind of looked like you a little bit.
Yeah, somebody was dressed like me, actually, I think wearing this exact vest. That was pretty funny, Councilmember Barron. So kudos to everybody. It was a fabulous parade. Every year it's great. The weather was perfect. Also, speaking of fabulous, we have our fabulous city council meeting next week.
Yes, that's right.
A couple of the big items we've got up to discuss are street addresses. So this is a discussion, no formal decisions being made, but Emily Garay is coming with a really well put together discussion about street addresses in the city and how that either does or doesn't relate to mail delivery. So please come and be involved in that conversation. We'll also be talking about the Mills Act policy. So Mills Act is you get a tax break for getting a contract with the city and promising to do work on a historic structure. The city council wants to explore maybe tweaking that policy, but we'll have that conversation with them. Another policy up for discussion is the level 2 notable homes. This is coming out of our Historic Resources Board. Specifically, one of the members has crafted a concept for protecting and preserving homes that aren't by definition historic, but maybe still have some charm to them. So the city council will be considering if that's something they want staff to put effort into or not. And then the last big item is discussing possible new undergrounding districts where there'd be all the utilities would be going underground, discussing some specific projects with council and getting their direction. So some great big policy items. I think the Pinecone did a nice job, as always, of discussing what those policy items were. So check that out and come hang out with us next Tuesday.
Yes.
For the city council meeting. A couple other quick ones, and then I'll hand it over to you, Nova. We got our 90-day comment letter back from the state at HCD on our housing element draft. That's up on our website right now. We're going to post it in the Friday letter today. And we're having a ad hoc meeting with Councilmember Richards and Councilmember Ferlito on the 13th, November 13th at 4:00 p.m. here in the chambers to discuss that letter. It's been noticed as a special meeting of the city council, so all of the council members can come, all the planning commissioners, any of our boards and commission can come and be part of that meeting. So that should be a good conversation. And the last thing, speaking of conversations and ad hocs, if you recall, the city council created an ad hoc committee made up of council members Barron and the mayor to discuss outdoor wine tasting on private property.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember.
And so their first public meeting is going to be November 14th, the day after the housing ad hoc meeting. November 14th here in the chambers to start that conversation with the community of whether or not we should explore amending our code to allow wine tasting to take place outside. Right now, there's only a small handful of things that are allowed to do business outside, restaurants being one of them, obviously, but wine tasting shops are not one of them. So the ad hoc committee is going to ultimately make a recommendation in full council of whether or not we should explore amending our zoning code and possibly general plan to allow that.
Wow, this is going to be a very busy month.
It's a busy
as
month.
I have more to add to that.
And it's just starting. It's only the 3rd of November.
Yeah.
So yeah, please, that was a lot, but I want to hear what you got to say.
Well, I get to talk about the fun events that are coming up. Saturday, November 11th, which is Veterans Day, there will be the annual Veterans Day celebration in Devendorf Park, which will be at 11 a.m. So easy to remember, 11 at 11.
11, 11, and 11.
Yes.
That's great. Okay.
And then the following Saturday on November 18th will be the 52nd annual Home Crafters Marketplace, which will be at the Sunset Center parking lot. And it's going to be from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And it's a perfect time to go shopping for Christmas or just gifts for your friends. So it'll be a lot
There's
of fun.
a lot of cool stuff there. Have you gone to it before?
I actually haven't.
Okay,
so
go this year.
I'm going to try
It's
and go
very
this
cool.
year.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is the Forestry Department put out the Forest Management Plan survey on our website, and it's still up. So if you haven't done the survey yet, you should definitely go online and fill that out. The deadline is November 13th at noon. But there's also paper copies of the survey at City Hall. If you'd rather just do a paper survey, you can just drop it off at the front counter. And so those are more things to keep track of.
Like you said, it's a
this
busy month.
month.
That's well put. A very busy month.
And then I also wanted to talk about the city council meetings next week. We're going to be transitioning from using Zoom webinar from Zoom meetings to using Zoom webinar for our council meetings. And that's going to start Monday with a special meeting and Tuesday. But it's not going to be a noticeable difference probably for most people. The reason why we're switching is just to make the meetings more secure. Like as you've seen in the news, there's been some hackers trying to bomb meetings. So we decided to make the transition. So one of the things you'll notice is that on the city council agenda on the first page, you'll still see that Zoom link that you'll need to copy and paste or click on. You'll still need to enter a passcode. But then after that, it will ask for your name and your email, but your email is going to be kept private. It's just part of the Zoom platform that they ask for it. And then you'll just go right into the meeting.
No, you don't have to wait for the host to
No, you don't have to wait
anything.
for the
That's
host
great.
to let you in. You'll
That's
just
great.
go in as long as the meeting has started. You will be in a waiting room if it's before the meeting has begun. But other than that, you will notice you won't have as many features on the screen. You will have the option to raise your hand, which you'll need to do if you want to make a public comment. And just as we've been doing, the mayor or the chair will call you by name and let you know when it's your turn to speak. But you won't be able to unmute yourself. The host or I will unmute you. You'll still have your 3 minutes to make your comments, and then we'll mute you back, and then we'll just move on to the next person. So it's kind of the way we've been doing it for the past couple months, just to try and keep the meetings more secure. So this will just kind of make it more efficient for us to manage the meeting on Zoom as a hybrid meeting by switching to this platform. But it's not going to be very different than how it's been.
So it's basically still the same. The upshot is we're doing this because there have been a lot of knuckleheads lately around the area that have been disrupting meetings, but because we still value and we want to continue to take comments online, some cities are actually going to no comments if you're joining by Zoom. We don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So this is a way for us to secure it a little bit more, but still allow for that very important public participation via Zoom.
Yeah, we still are glad to offer the option to be hybrid. You can come in person if you want. You can still use the call-in number. There'll still be a dial-in number on the agenda. You just press *9 when you want to raise your hand. And then we'll just go through the meeting as we've been doing. But yeah, we really want to keep the option of remote participation, especially in the winter seasons, you know, it does help if you want to just stay home but still participate.
And you've created an FAQ that's going to
Yes,
be on the Friday letter and the website.
Yeah, I'll link to it.
With way more detail than what we just talked about.
Yes, way more
so,
detail in case anyone wants to know. I'll link to it in the Friday letter, and it'll be online, just to let people know what we're doing. And if you have any questions, you can always contact me, and I'd be happy to answer.
Well, last week, Chip and I mentioned, just talked about city clerking a little bit in general, how important of a task it is and how important of a role it is. I think this is just another example of that. So thank you for all of your work on this, the FAQ, thinking this through, you know, having the public's best interest in mind, all that. So thank you for all you do as city clerk. And also, you just shared with me tomorrow's your birthday.
Yes.
So happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Hope you have a lovely weekend with your family. You know how we sign off on here?
Take good care.
That's right. So we're going to look out to everybody and we're going to say, take good care.
Take good care.